kotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ye na tembe o
nga na ye na tembe na lopango na bino kosukisa na ye na tembe o na ye na tembe bopandanga bolambanga bosasanga bolambanga boninya
na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na tembe o
oh mama
na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na tembe o
ekwekese ya mobali oyo nga na kokufela na ye namona ye na tembe o mobali yango kowapi ye natala na miso na ye na tembe o oh mama
na ye na ye na ye
na ye
na ye na ye na tembe o
oh mama
na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na tembe o
na ye na tembe na lopango na bino na ye bobeta ngai na ye kosukisa ye ekwekese ya mobali ngai na bino tokowela sapato etengama simise pasuka na mokongo
na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na tembe o
na ye na tembe
na ye na ye na ye
mwana
na ye na ye na ye na tembe o
Good evening, folks. Samson to Labron Public Radio. We want to welcome you again. We say thank you very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate it. Well, folks, I will continue to repeat myself. When you come on here and you see me bending my head and doing something, I'm sharing the video, I'm sharing the program. I don't have an assistant here to be able to share these kinds of stuff for me. So what I have is what I do myself. I share. I don't have the kinds of star power that I'm going to look at you and look in the face and say, I'm not saying nothing to you until my viewership reached to certain percent or certain numbers. I'm not like that. So first of all, if I have that star power, I must be grateful to God. Second, if I have the star power to have you people to come out here and watch me, I must be grateful to you as well. Because many of you watching me, Not that you have nothing else to do but to come and watch me. No, the fact that you have respect for all of us and you have respect for everything that we do and you follow, we appreciate it. So I'm not going to come out here and waste your time because I want my viewership to go up before I open my big mouth. No, I'm not going to do that. The reason why I'm doing this because I have to share it. So I hope you understand, and I apologize if I offend anybody by me bending my face and trying to share why you guys are looking at me. So please, this is the reason I will continue to repeat this so people will know that I'm not here bluffing. I'm here, I'm not God. Those of you that follow me, I appreciate you taking your time to follow me. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to come out here and say, I'm waiting for my viewership to go something before I say, no. As long as I open up, and you're watching, one person, nobody, I will talk. But except that I have to take few time, maybe 5-10 minutes to share. The sharing system on Facebook, those of you that have platform, you know how difficult it is now. So if you have a shortcut over there that you can share or the group share, please text it to us and then we'll be able to shorten the sharing time so that we will engage you immediately. Thank you very much. Safety, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us here together. Lord Jesus, you're wonderful, you're merciful, and thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your blanket of love that you pour all over us. My Lord, can you imagine if man was in control of another man's life? This is not going to be like this. But because of you, your love for the people. You don't have any kinds of pick and choose, nothing. You love everyone. Bad, good, bad, white, black, it doesn't matter. Rich, poor, it doesn't matter. You love all of us. And we also have to stand in public and appreciate you and tell you thank you. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for the love, a blanket of love that you have for us. The protection, Lord, that you continue to provide for us. Thank you. And we say thank you. Plenty, plenty. In Liberia, we say plenty, plenty. Thank you. My Lord, you know, we Liberian diaspora, we have two tables. We have two tables. One family table here in the U.S. or in the diaspora and another family table back home where we have to feed. My Lord, you give us the opportunity to be here. You give us the opportunity to work, and we're working to fulfill that. My Lord, thank you for your protection. And we ask you to guide all of us and continue to bless family here and family back home. We have to feed two families. Lord, we're not working because we want to bluff and dress and go bluff. Nothing, far from it. We're working because you're giving us a duty, and that duty is being carried out. Thank you. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your blessing. Lord Jesus, we ask you to bless the country, Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. Thank you. Lord Jesus, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you guys for okay. I will do the music stuff later on, but thank you for the question. For Zoar, thank you very much, Julian. We appreciate it. We'll tell you what the stuff is later. And I put on that, I pinned specific information up there. So I'm going to be talking tonight. I want you to see if you can do both things, chew gum and walk at the same time. I know many Liberians have the ability to do that, so I'm not questioning it at all. But I want you to do some research, going onto this website if you can reach it, and read some of the things. And maybe you might be able to see some of my articles that I'm going to be reading here tonight. Again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio. This is how we start the show as usual. We're going to start the show as usual. Folks, Samson told, those of you that are watching me for the first time, this is what we do. This is the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, who is our President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected, 61.5%. I've been saying this thing for the last 3 years. Anyway, I will continue to say it. But in 6 years, we, the Liberian people, including myself, will challenge Dr. Weah to let us know why he thinks he deserves second term. We were asking that. And some of us will run campaign, Vima campaign against him. There's no question that. But until that time, he's my president. I must respect him. I must obey his order. The order coming from the president of the Republic of Liberia, I have to obey. I have to obey. If I want to challenge it, there are systems put in place. What I want people to understand, why we vehemently disagree with this administration and this president. I don't agree with many of the things this president put out for. However, one thing I do know, under his leadership, Liberia is not a failed state. Under his leadership, many millions of Liberians will get up tomorrow morning, stay safe. Oh my God. Can you question that? I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, President Weah, for wonderful, wonderful upkeeping of Liberia. I don't agree with you on many, many things, of course, but on this, the idea under your leadership that we continue to have safe and flourish Liberia, I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I will challenge you, but when the time comes. But folks, until that time, he's our president, the president of the Republic of Liberia. Here's the thing. We will challenge. He's our president. We will disagree. He's our president. Folks, you can't just get up and criticize. We must criticize, but we must do so with respect. We must criticize, but we must do so with responsibility. We should respect the president as an individual. We should respect the office of the president. Because any one of you that are watching me right now, you could sit in that office tomorrow. And if you don't respect the president, the presidencies and the occupants right now, you don't respect them. When you get there, you want people to respect you. It don't go like that. Respect go two-way. And let me playing football. I pass it to you, pass it to me. I give you respect, you give me respect. If I don't respect you, why will you even think about respecting me? Who am I? Respect go two-way. And that's what I say. Let's go. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Before I go on, folks, let me just show you another thing here, very interesting thing. Quite recently, the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Weah, went on a county tour and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful review. Wonderful one. But I know one thing, and I told you guys then, and it has happened and it's continued to happen. I said a wonderful, wonderful review the president and his people are giving. The people, the international community, and even the Liberian press, they were giving him wonderful review on this county tour. But just a matter of time before they put their foot in their mouth. Because CDC and Dr. Weah and his people, they can never, never, never fail me. Before, I'm saying it, before the end of this week, they will come up again with another unforced error that I'm going to put in the binder. Until that time, let me just show you something. So President Weah went on a county tour recently, and I was petrified. When I started seeing the review coming in, I was petrified. As the opposition, of course, I'm petrified. This man, with this kind of review, this is a man who have not gone in the country for almost 3 years after winning the election. I was on my platform. The man never even went anywhere to tell people thank you. I consider the country tour, I said, I've considered that to be like a farewell tour until when the review started coming. Then I started backtracking. I started eating crow all over. From being a county farewell tour, now I was petrified. Hey, the kind of good review the president getting, I think we're in trouble. I started looking other way around, trying to find me to be able to face Mr. Alfonso Zionso. Because I've been saying to him, this is a county tour. He said, Mr. Tour. I said, yes, on his show. I've been eating crow the whole time. So the president started getting review, grave, good review. I started being concerned. Hey, with that kind of good review they make, how are we going to make sure to dislodge him from this position? But of course, CDC will never fail you. If they do one good before you know, fall back on. I just gave you, before the end of this week, they will do something that you will know and say, oh, are the people doing this? They will give us a false error again. However, Some of us that grew up in the country, born in the country, grew up in the country, we love the country life. The country life, where those days, no light, moonlight, people used to enjoy themselves. You can't wait until night comes so you can stay. Some of us that used to play drum and stay out there, enjoy yourself. So, President, we have recently went back home to his hometown. This is the man who have traveled all over the world, played football, and got to the top of the game. But he came back to the village and he put on his country style and put a suit on. I will show you a video here. And on this video, you can tell the president was truly, truly enjoying himself. Because apparently he must have met with some of his old friends, childhood friends. And it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is coronavirus time now. He got to Montreal, he started putting masks back on. But on this particular video, no mask. No mask. It's called coronavirus. Bring it on. I'm here with my people. If anything happened to me, that's what God said. But I'm here with my people. And this is what he read. He was demonstrating that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And when I saw that, I said, something to you got to find. Now, from a counter tour that I've been making beam of, I started eating crow. I started backtracking. Well, maybe this is not a counter tour. Maybe this is something. I have to find reason, folks. I can't just, I ain't got no shit. I ain't got no shit. I got to find reason. I got to find reason. In the man over there, look at all the plenty of fine coconut tree. They make it even poor. I started finding reason to eat my crows shamelessly. So let me just show you the video. This video, every time I watch this video, it puts some sort of a country spirit in me. I'm sitting way here in Sacramento, California. I have to have something to continue to light the candle of Toad Town in me. Doctor, we have video light that candle every time. And when I play, I feel like I'm in Toad Town. But then when the video finishes, I look up in the house and say, I'm in the studio, I'm in California, what kind of business there? In my mind, I thought I was in Toad Town. But I'm in California, what kind of business there? But this is what we have, folks. Samson told LeBron Pabrito. So let's watch this video, folks. Let's watch this video. Samson told LeBron Pabrito. Let's watch this video. It's very, very, very interesting video. Listen to this. Now, folks, if you are from the countryside, you will truly, truly enjoy this particular video because it's a video that brings out the spirit in you. Most of the time, these kinds of things happen. Those of us that grew up in the countryside, when, for example, it's a call of unity. I don't know about this one. I got to say something about it now. I can't sit there and praise that we are all day. I got to do that for what? I'm an opposition. I can't praise him, but when he do something good, I will say it. So, but this time, when I say it too, then I put some little saying in the Gary, little bit. What wrong with you say? I'm gonna consider all day praise that we I can do that. No, but on a very serious note. So when you watch this video, they call like this. And when these people back in the day, up in the countryside, when you get people calling and gathering to like that, it's a sign of unity. Usually, people back home in my own town of Toad Town, when I was growing up, you got people going to do individual farms and stuff. But one of the things that's always happening in the town of Toad Town, if someone goes out, because most of the people in Toad Town, they marry 2, 3, 5 wives. They don't play around. That one, But if a man who's supposed to be brushing farm, making farm for all his wives, say for example, he goes out and farm, and he get cut by his colleagues or some kind of bad thing happened to him that he unable to continue the work, the farming work. So the entire town, first it started like this. The old people in the town, after hearing about this bad news about this gentleman, the old people in the town, they have this cow horn, and they blow it, boom, boom. When they start blowing it, everybody quiet. And the woman get baby, they put something in the baby mouth right with no sound. And you hear the old man, boom, blowing the thing going around. After a while, then they start telling people what's happening. You know, meet so place at so time. Then the old people would meet. Then they say, okay, so person got hurt. He's unable to continue with the farming, but we have to go on and finish the job. And then we got people what they call bush father. I don't know the English name. Don't ask me what the English name. I say bush father. You know what bush father is? Then sit on one place. And don't come bother me. What bush father? I beg you, man. If you don't know what bush father is, sit on one place. And let me tell my total story. And so the bush father, okay, the real crown language I'm speaking in English this evening. Bush father. Yeah, you have to play. But anyway, then the bush father always a young man, you know, of age, of course, but strong. So this person, they gather all the young people in the town. By 6:30 in the morning, they're going on that farm. Then they would take one of the old men who can sing and blow that big guy or whatever, country big guy, whatever you want to call it. So the person starts singing. I watched it one time. And I was little. I couldn't even brush. But when the sound that I was hearing coming from this old man's mouth, if I could brush, I think I would have done some serious damage myself. What the man does is this. He come behind you, blow that thing. He start calling your grandpa knee, start calling your pa knee. Then he reach to your grandma, call your mom, then ask question. All the time he's singing. Whose song is this? Is it what he can't do here? Call one stay and then 2 hours later he's still cutting the same stay? Who is this? Who is it? My man, begin. My son, if you can't brush, move, let the people. You think, and all of your brushing, and the old man singing behind you, nothing stand in your way. You're cutting, you're going. Unbelievable. I watched that. I watched what they have for wax. A true story, folks. They have a wax, a bee wax, big wax, you know, the hundreds or whatever you want to call it. It was in front of this guy, and this man started sinking. The guy just, with nothing, no shirt, nothing, he just grabbed that stuff, color like this, the stick that was hanging on, color like that, and then I said, he said, what is this? Then he turned around, gave it to the old man. The old man ran. That's the spirit. But anyway, at the end, they finished the farm. So when you get these kinds of stuff, what Dr. Weir and people have there here, when these things happen, it's a sign of unity in a village. It's a sign of unity in a town. Those days, you don't go around and sue people. Oh, you talking to me? Look at me funny, I won't sue you. Don't think, no, it don't happen like that. Only people who come from Montreal that can't speak good crown, or they can talk English, that they don't want to get that kind of mentality. I just thought I'd give you that. Let me go now to my main show this evening. Thank you very much for listening to my total story. Yeah, sometimes I miss the town, to be honest with you. Sometimes I miss the town. I miss the people too, anyway. But we have to talk about this issue here. The story tonight and the information that I'm going to be giving you tonight is about Musa ability. Let me say this again. Every time I bring these things, I have to give you, in the interest of fairness, I have to give you my own background. I am a member, card-carrying member of Liberty Party USA. I will continue to say that. I have no voting right in Liberia. But if USA, Liberty Party USA have a meeting, and I go to that meeting and register, I am allowed to vote as Liberty Party member in the USA. They haven't kicked me out yet. I'm still there. I'm still with them. But I cannot I don't believe that I can take the same privilege and go to Liberia and go to Liberty Party Liberia headquarters and join their meeting and try to vote. I don't think I have that right. I can't do that. So I'm not member of Liberty Party Liberia. I am member of Liberty Party USA. I have no voting right in the Liberty Party USA. I run my mouth, but that doesn't mean I am connected with them. Two things. However, if for some reason the Liberty Party Liberia, those of you CDC, USA, whatever party you have over there, they do that all over. They don't want you to say something in their political activities, but when they want money, then they call your here. Allah, the same thing with Liberty Party. So when Liberty Party comes to them, they say, okay, you guys will need X, Y, and Z. We say, okay, we'll put money together and send it to them. But when we say this is what we think we need to do, and you're way smart. We hear in a hard song like that. Right now, you're ready to do such extra. I'm making it up. Am I lying? I beg you, man. But anyhow, so the point here that I'm trying to make is, I'm going to be talking about Musa Ability tonight. I don't know him. I've never met him before. He doesn't even know who I am, first thing. Okay? However, the fact that I am a member of Liberty Party USA and speaking about Liberty Party chairman in Liberia, many of you might just thread the needle and say, this is it. So I'm trying to do my best here to separate. But it's up to you. Once I come out, clean myself and tell you, say, this is who I am, turn my heart over to you. If you think now anything else you think, I have no control. As long as me and my God am certified, I have no control. There's nothing I can do about that. However, Musa Ability, let us also understand, first and foremost, he's a Liberian. And if a Liberian is treated the way he was treated, according to what I'm going to be reading again tonight, and if we come across this type of information, we must do all we can not to exonerate him, because Musa Ability he has that ability to exonerate himself. He doesn't need me. But we must provide the information that we have come across to our brothers and sisters. And if you want to take it as it is, it's up to you. If you want to stick with what you have, it's up to you as well. But we should be able to provide that information, so at least people will say, okay, well, maybe I heard it. And I put this thing, I pinned this FA colonialism thing on here, and you can see that. So please, check it out. So let's go on. Yesterday, or the fortnight ago, I was out here reading an article about Musa Ability. As you all know, Musa Ability was banned by FIFA. Musa Ability used to be president of Liberian Football Association. Okay, so he joined the CAF, the Confederation of African Football. Okay, and in there they have a president. CAF have a president. Ahmed, who was then the president. So Musa Ability then started finding out, according to the paper, that these people were on for some crocodile business. And Musa Ability started seeing things that were not of good nature. And he being Musa Ability, remember this guy, like I said yesterday, go and do the research. He used to play football. So coming to this football organization, it's not like the president of FIFA would never kick a lime in his life before. Well, I'm just making it, I don't know that. I'm just saying. But anyway, Musa Ability used to play for the team in the Liberian Football Association. And when he became, after he left, I think the current foreign minister used to be president of that thing. I think they call Wakanak, but it was a form, it was formed after the war. Some rebel group formed a team, according to the story. I'm not too sure how true that is. But anyway, so Musa Ability, when he came to this position, it wasn't like he has no clue what football business is. Okay, so when he got in, he started seeing these things that was happening. So he decided that he's going to challenge these people on their corrupt behavior. So come to find out, according that it wasn't just CAF president that was doing the misdeal. It was coming from all the way to FIFA president. So one of the deals that got Musa ability to start blowing the horn was that they decided to take, there was supposed to be, according to the newspaper, there was supposed to be a $200,000 coming to the Liberian Football Association to support the Liberian national team. So these people, Ahmed, who was the president of CAF, with the instruction from FIFA, according to the paper, decided to take this $200,000 and take it to a Polish Agdida account. So it's like me taking my wife's money, which I love to do, by the way. But I take my wife's money, now go put it into, I don't call it, Motorball Association account in Liberia. What my wife's account money got to do with Motorball, unless she tied me to do that. But in this situation was bad. You're taking FIFA, not FIFA, but CAF is taking Liberia money that's supposed to come to Liberia and putting it in the Polish Agdida account. When was the last time African Confederation Football started dealing paint and stuff like that? What was the connection? So Musa Bello State started asking questions, and there was no good thing coming. So when he found out they were taking Liberian money, he also decided, no, enough is enough. So then he decided to take these people to the, I call it arbitration of football, arbitration with FIFA, to take them to there's a court, okay? So when he got in there, 2 days after he complained, the case was still there. 2 days after, a ruling came down to ban him for 10 years. Ah, my man, I just complain about your nonsense and now you can't kick me out completely. What have I done? And if you look, I've been researching. If you have it in there, please say so. But I've been looking all around. In all of the banning information on newspaper, BBC, and everywhere else, there's nothing specific that they will point to in all of the article to say Musa ability based on X, Y, and D have done. The only sibling of misbehaving they would attribute to Musa ability was that they gave money, Ebola money, some footballer, international footballer, put money together to give to Liberia. And they said instead of giving the money, he used it for himself and his family. Now, there's no auditing report to details their allegation. It's just allegation they made. And that's the only thing. But it's not even in the entire, if you go to BBC report, you're not going to find it there. If you go to African Soccer report, you're not going to, all you're going to know is that former president of Liberian Football Association is banned for 10 years. But when you start doing more detailed research, you will find what is happening. And this is what I have done, folks. So let me continue reading this. I'm giving you the back. So last night I told you, yeah, well, and let me go to that now, okay? Last night I told you that these people you see here, okay? These three people, 2 men and a woman you see there, were the backbone of Musa ability being banned for 10 years, according to the story. Their names, okay? FIFA president, Jenny Infinado, CAF president, Ahmed, and FIFA secretary general, Famad Sumoro, okay? The FIFA president, according to the story, has a Swiss and Italian background. The Ahmed guy, the president for CAF, at the time, in fact, by the way, about 2 months or so ago, he also was kicked out, was banned, I think, for 5 years. This was for real corruption. But anyway, I will deal with that later. But anyhow, Ahmed, he's from Madagascar. And the young lady, the Secretary General, who is the FIFA Secretary General, he's from Senegal. So what they did was, after Ahmed was then being investigated, but to cover up the investigation, according to the paper, to cover up the investigation, they decided that this lady will now go and supersede, put her over the African football governing body. So when she came there, according to the paper, her job was to have some sort of a Babati auditing, according to the Babati. That's my own word. I don't in the paper. They have a word for it, but I don't call it Babati. Okay, so the audit that was coming out of it was nobody could trust it because they already have this. The book was cooked. Okay, so this lady and these two gentlemen, according to the article, forcibly took the African Football Association and decided they were going to make it into a FIFA-run organization. So Musa Ability and few other Africans are saying, no, we can't be here for you to come and colonize us again. You did it back in the days. Our forefathers fought politically to liberate us. Now you're going to come and colonize us again in the football business. This we cannot take. And Musa Ability started speaking up. When he did that, after he filed his case against them, okay, where did he file the case? Let me just find out. Okay, it's called Court of Arbitration for Sport, which is a governing part of the governing body of FIFA. So if you have issue with sport and things like this, is where you go. That's the court you go to. So when Musa Ability filed it, but here's the interesting thing: there are people that are on this committee. They don't just get her and assign people to. They have to pick who they want to assign to a specific case. But here's the interesting thing: the person who is designated to pick the arbitrator for any case, in this case, Musa Ability case, was also a good close friend of the president of FIFA. He and FIFA has been accused of corrupt behavior before. So I also told you, Musa Ability during that time also was telling the entire world that he has been threatened by the personal director of the office of the president of FIFA, that he should toe the line to say that he supports FIFA coming to take over the African governing body. And if he didn't do so, he will face the consequence. So Musa Ability now refusing to do that cause, according to the article, brought this thing on him. And then I'm asking all of you to go and do the research and see if you can find somewhere where Musa Ability actual corruption detailed by FIFA or CAF. Okay, so I also told you all of those things. Now let me go ahead and I told you already the $200,000 that was supposed to be coming to Liberia, CAF took it and put it into the Polish art dealer account, which caused, of course, Musa Ability from Liberia. He said, no, I can't say I ever eat my children money. And just remember this as well. This is not just Liberia. You have heard African footballers go to represent their country, and at the end, they can't get paid. So this is not unique to Liberia. You know that. You know that. Okay. But Musa Ability is standing out to these people and say, we can't let you guys try to colonize the African Football Association. Let me play you a video quickly before I go on reading this. This is Musa Ability, folks, listening to him.
What I see and that is happening in African football is appalling, because FIFA under Gianni has now set out to recolonize African football. Africans have to rise up to this. We have to stand up to this. There is no way UEFA would be where it is today if it did not stand up. And guess what? Who was at the center of this point when UEFA stood up? This very Gianni. He made UEFA to say to FIFA, you can't control us. How dare he come today and try to let us do the opposite of what he stood for and did in UEFA. We have to stand up. I'm going to fight. If I succeed, that's fine. If I don't succeed, posterity will continue. Our grandparents, our forefathers struggled to politically liberate this continent. We cannot surrender it to another form of colonialism. What makes this even more dangerous is the fact that 90% of our youthful population are controlled by this game. Whatever this game does will affect us economically, socially, and politically. If we sit down and say that it is nothing and that Africa or Gianni can have this way, sooner than later, colonialism is going to creep up. We are no longer watching our own local leagues. We are no longer watching our own national teams. Now they want to control us and tell us how to organize our own competition, disregard the way we play, disregard the way we react. What I see and that is happening in African football is appalling.
That, folks, is Musa Ability trying to tell you some of his struggle with this organization. So I told you last night, and let me continue to read. I told you when these people came in, the article that was written, and that's the article, and I put the link up here that you can go and try to find some of these articles. The worst fear of every sober and rational football stakeholder in Africa were confirmed last week when in her first act, remember now I told you this Secretary General was imposed on the African governing body, football body, okay? So this is what they're writing, okay? In her first act in the role of General Delegate for Africa, FAMAT Sumaworo wrote to all African Presidents Football Association asking them to sign an irreversible legal mandate handing over all commercial and media rights to FIFA for the mean World Cup competition until 2026. So when she came in, this is what she decided to do, that she was going to go ahead, and the FIFA wanted for them to have turn over the rights, the media right, which is lucrative business, okay? So Infanto Ahmed Soro Trio did not even allow her presence in Africa to marinate among the football stakeholder before showing their hand and had no interest in the sale of global football right to Middle East, beginning with the soft target African Football Association. African FA president on their part are equal to too greedy, looking to receive the occasional brown envelope availed to them by CAF are to vote against their own interests, or they are so tainted by the middle looting of FIFA giant that they are easily blackmailed into voting along the line that the axis of evil wanted. Okay, so now this article is saying Musa Ability. If you read this article, Musa Ability he has a serious problem. It's an uphill battle. It seems like he's standing by himself. Few African legends wanted to be part of that, but it seemed like he was standing by himself. But he was not deterred. He was going on. Just a few weeks ago, it comes to light that Inferno has caused the Switch AG, Michael Lubo, and his two deputies to be compelled to recuse themselves from all FIFA-related investigation and prosecution by the Swiss court. The Swiss court, okay, Switzerland court, they were investigating, and the prosecutor, the Attorney General, had a secret meeting with the FIFA president. Remember, I told you he has a Swiss background now. He has Swiss background and Italian background. So he was very connected. So he was able to meet with his Swiss Attorney General with two deputies. And because when the thing came up, those three people decided to recuse themselves for any kind of case that have to do with FIFA. This followed an application by former FIFA SG Jerome Wickle, who stated that it had come to light that Inferno and Bruder had three unauthorized, undocumented meetings whose agenda remains secret. So where was he meeting with these people when the people were doing their investigation? Okay? So overall, when this thing started, okay, they decided to go after Musa Ability. Musa Ability filed against CAF to this court, okay, the court arbitration for sport. If he filed his case in there, 2 days later, he was handed down a ban, 10 years. And the suspicion started from that point on. Okay? So let me read another interesting article that you will find in this here, and it's going to be brief. I'm not going to be too long here tonight again. It's going to be brief. Okay. Sensing defeat, FIFA now that's Musa Bility case still. Okay. The first article was written in August 2019, and this one was written in November 2019. This is the article now. If you go on this page, you will be able to see it. So this guy is saying here, these people are saying, sensing defeat, FIFA now resort to delay tactics in the case, in the case filed by Musa Bility. Okay. It is now November and 0 hours for the case filed at the Court of Arbitration for Sport by Liberian Musa Hassan Bility against the hostile cobbled together and poorly conceptualized CAF FIFA agreement. This was the agreement FIFA and CAF had on Ahmed and this lady, Sumaro, so that FIFA would take over the daily operation of African Football Association. And Musa Bility was one of those that was against it. Okay. This unprecedented agreement gave FIFA the mandate to take over the management and running of African football following the historic arrest of CAF President Ahmed in Paris by officers from the French Anti-Corruption Unit on 5th June 2019. The man you see there, the Ahmed guy, he was so emboldened by the president of FIFA, he decided he didn't care. So with that kinds of thing hanging around his neck, he didn't know that people were watching. So he decided to go bluff in France. They nabbed him. They arrested him in France. So when that happened, this lady that was already in store, FIFA said, oh, okay, well, we have somebody there now anyway, so let that person just go ahead and do the whole job. You see what's happening? So in fact, other people were suspecting that the president must have set up Ahmed. But that's a different story, okay? The arrest followed a complaint by global sportwear giant Puma over the manner in which Ahmed terminated an order that had previously been awarded to them in December 2017 for the 2018 CAN, then somehow awarded it to their friends at a shadow company by the name of Tactical Steel at 400% of initial quoted price. This is what got Ahmed in problem. Because Ahmed and his people, they awarded a contract to Puma. You know what Puma is? The shoemaker, the people that make athletic shoes. They give them contract to do jersey, do football, and things like that. But when they find out they were not getting kickback, they took the contract from Puma and gave it to this other company, their friends. They, according to the article, their friend operate this other group. Okay, it's called Tactical Steel at 400% of profit. Okay. To accompany the endurable of the situation, employees of CAF have reported their boss and CAF President Ahmed of serious breach of FIFA ethics code, including bribery and sexual harassment, assault of female employees and outside contractors. So this Ahmed man, he's getting, that's some of the reason why he's no longer there. This is the man who was behind the ban of Musa Bility. Look at his sheet, look at his record, his track record. He was being reported by employees of CAF. Let me read that again. He was being reported by employees of CAF. A breach of FIFA ethics code. They see ethics code, they say Musa Bility violated some time ago. That's a C ethics code here, okay? Including bribery. They say people were bribing this guy. Sexual harassment, assault of female employees and outside contractor. These are the rap sheet of this man who all Liberians believe that Musa Bility need to go clear his name. These are the people who brought the ban charges against Musa Bility. These are the people. And then for this reason, many Liberians, without even doing any kind of serious research, oh, including myself, oh, Musa Bility need to clear his name. Where is he going to clear his name? Where? You already heard what I read to you, that the book was cooked. from the beginning. I'm not doing this case a favor because I'm not reading everything that's supposed to be read. I want you to go and do your research, because in the research, when you go to this paper, you will find the name, the pictures of all of those people that are conniving to give the ban, 10-year ban onto Musa Ability. So after reading this, you will find out that, well, why is it there's no there? So what's the point of even going through this process of banning Musa Ability? For what reason? Because Musa Ability decided to stand up for African football. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And Musa Ability not only read it, but remember one time he even wanted to be president of FIFA, challenging the same guy. And of course, the case in the arbitration also turned against him, that he couldn't run. So according to the article, Musa Ability ban came about because he was not playing ball. And the article spelled out that there were certain things Musa Ability didn't do. If he had done those things, you won't hear no ban business on behind him. So I'm asking all of us to look into this thing. I'm not saying you don't have the right to say Musa Ability need to clear his name. Of course, he does. And he has been trying. But let us give him the opportunity as well. Because he became a chairman of Liberty Party, Sami, the guy who has his own political party, wanted to be president here. I feel forgetting his name. Okay? He started writing front page of the article where he wrote to say Musa Ability bought trucks, and because of that, they gave him the Liberty Party chairmanship. As though Musa Ability, first of all, he's a Liberian. And if Liberty Party see fit to elect him, he didn't come and force people's arms. They voted for him. So if you're going to be criticizing the process, that means you don't even respect the voting process in Liberia in the first place. So those are the kinds of things I want people to understand. I'm not here to defend Musa Ability. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm here to tell you the process that brought this ban. If you go and read this article, there's 2 articles I got here, and many of them still out here. If you go and read this article, you will find that this ban should not even have happened in the first place. So it could be you tomorrow. So we all need to do our own due diligence and try to make sure that these things, they are factual. Don't just take it. One of the things that this Jenny man is quite familiar with is African mentality. And that's why he took this woman, knowing full well people are not going to oppose him. That's why he took the woman and put it over the African football business. So they know when they write anything African, most Africans don't even tend to question. They write, oh, the people say, especially coming from white men. But that the white men say, business. And what I want these people to understand is this, and I'm not here to speak for all Liberian, all African. But one thing I do know about young Liberian, okay? I'm not talking about yesterday Liberia. I'm not talking about us, we the day before yesterday. I'm talking about now. One of the things these people need to understand is that we don't need people like Elizabeth Blanc, the BBC, to speak for us anymore. Many of these young Liberians, they are sophisticated and they will speak for us as Liberians. They know our story. We don't need BBC to narrate our story anymore. We don't need people from all over the world to come and tell our story and hoping that the story will be favorable to us. We will tell our own story, and we are telling our own story. And this is what I want these people to understand as well. If you come across, whether we like the person, it's politics. We have to have a debate. And we don't have to agree with everybody. But the fact that Liberians having some sort of in-house disagreement, as I would call it, and you want to take that opportunity to try to destroy one of us, if you don't come up with facts, we will challenge you. And there are many Liberians, young Liberians, highly educated, sophisticated. They will challenge you. And they will destroy the ideas of trying to damage people. They're not going to let you get away with it. No. It doesn't matter what language you come with. There are many sophisticated young Liberians that can speak whatever language you have. And in fact, if you come in your own language, try to destroy one of us, they will come at you in your own language and disabuse you of your foolishness. I say so. Because this is just complete a mess. If you read this thing, the only reason why I'm calm, because I'm on a public viewing platform. I can't come out here and show my emotion and start saying this and speaking a lot of languages that people will not be able to understand. I'm not going to do that. I'll take my time. But I want many of you, many Liberians, before you go condemning Musa Ability based on the 10-year ban, please go and do more reading. I don't mind you disagreeing with me, but show me something. Don't just say CAF say or the people say. What was the reason? Have you really seen article upon article that spelled out exactly Musa Ability crimes? No. And we've seen these people before. We've seen these kinds of behavior before in history, where any minority, especially African, try to stand up for themselves. They will use your own people to bring you down. We've seen it many times. But this is what they need to know. Africa and Liberia in particular, this is changing. Many Liberian nowadays will not just take a story and say, okay, this is it. No. 2 nights ago, night before last, I didn't sleep. I took my time to go through all these things. If you go on Google and put in Musa Ability and FIFA, this kind of information will not come out easily. If one come out, you go into that. Then another one come out, you go into that. Then another one come out, you go before you can find these kinds of stuff. You got to go deeper. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to have these people try to take control of African football. But the young people that try to speak against these things, then they come out, knowing fully well they have the vote, because the entire process, you've heard it, and not just because of me, or coming from me. You heard it. Where a FIFA officials have been nabbed, different country, for corruption, go to jail for corruption. This is a lucrative business. This is a lucrative. So if you coming in as like Musa Ability and you want to, it's like a club, and you want to get in, you either play ball or you get out, and that's it. But this is wrong, because this is the international or global phenomenon. It's a football, and look at what Musa Ability is saying. Our young people today, they play football in Liberia. So even if you were successful to be one of the best players in Liberia, you know the kind of hoops you got to go through to go play in Europe? And this is what I'm saying. So people like Musa Ability that was standing out and saying, no, this is wrong. Yeah, what people are saying, okay, I agree. For me, that's a perception issue. Because I've not seen anything yet that will truly convince me. So why I'm here this evening, pleading with all my brothers and sisters, you might not agree with Musa Ability. Was it not the same Musa Ability that had issue here with the gasoline situation the last time in Liberia? Was it not the same Musa Ability 2 days or so ago was on air publicly telling Liberians not to even think about a war crime court? Because he, according to him, we don't have the manpower to go hunt people down, criminal down. That's not his place. I don't agree with him on those things. But the fact that I don't agree with him on issues does not mean that if I have information about the case that he's been banned for 10 years, which now affecting the political activities of his involvement into political party. Now that party is being affected, the way Liberian perceive the party, the way Liberian might even talk about the party. It's been affected. But if I have these kinds of information, why should I not put that out there? Because I don't think Musa Bellotte, I truly believe that Liberty Party should be ahead of this thing here. These are information that are out there. The information that are out there. The issue Musa Bellotte have with FIFA was not in isolation. This was public argument. People were writing, people were taking notes. People were writing articles. And the articles don't just disappear. They're out there. You just have to look. So you would think Liberty Party would try to assign one of their smart young men to this case and say, look, do what we can, get the information, because what is being said about our chairman is not right. We need to defend our chairman. And then Liberty Party, Liberia, should be doing these kinds of things, defending their chairman. But I don't see that. So that's what it is. Okay? So if you go on, you will find that they decided, the group decided to do some sort of a slowdown. You know, it's a very interesting article. I'm just not going to go into all of it. UN is also involved, okay? So, but what you will find now, if you go into it, you will find out that the president at the time, Ahmed, is now being dismissed, disgraced, banned for, I believe it's 5 years because of corruption. This is a man who is being charged, who's being accused of sexual harassment, not just harassment, but assault on young women that work in his department. So these are the kinds of people that are bringing a 10-year ban against Musa Bellotte, without them spelling out exactly what Musa Bellotte did. So I will hope that our brothers and sisters will try to take on these things. And so let me see what other interesting thing here, okay? FIFA President General has personally intervened to ensure that none of the ethics complaints against Ahmed will take off, while expecting those of detractor to CAF and lingers. See that? The FIFA president, when his man was being charged for bribery, sexual assault, and harassment of female employee, FIFA president makes sure those things are squashed because he got friends in the arbitration committee. But those who try to challenge the status quo, people taking money from Liberia Football Association and putting it in the account of the Polish art dealer. And the Musa Bellotte speaks out, oh, they want he talking too much. You'll get him out. Musa Bellotte knows this only too well when he was slapped with a 10-year ban from all football activity by FIFA Ethics Committee in July, a day after he had filed for arbitration case against the unprecedented hostile takeover of CAF from its elected leadership in the 23-man CAF Executive Committee, EXO. Every right-thinking person in football wonder what is so special about African football about Africa that FIFA had to send its African SG Famata Samoro to Cairo to manage CAF affair, when the most advisable course of action would have been to suspend Ahmed and allow the executive to exercise its mandate as per statute. And this is what Musa Bellotte is saying, these people getting ready to colonize all again. The statute that brought about CAF, if you have issue where the president is being suspended, the CAF committee takes over and run the daily affair. But instead, FIFA said no. First of all, FIFA president make sure this man is not suspended. Not only that, I'll bring somebody else in there, so in case to back up the Secretary General who will run the affair. Since then, the world has come to find out about the unholy alliance that existed between FIFA boss Infantino, CAF Supremo, I like that, Supremo Hamed, and Secretary General Fama, who doubled up as, I'm not going to read that one. That's not something, that's none of my business. FIFA has as an organization is in peril, and its future highly insured, considering that the employment of senior technocrats seem based purely on nepotism. In FIFA, you got to employ your relatives and things, folks. And these are people that will come to Africa or to Liberia to lecture us. They have no good standing. They have no good standing. And these are the people that will tell Liberians Musa Bility is banned from FIFA for 10 years. These people that get a kind of record, they've been arrested all over the world. And these are the people that will put a paper together and say Musa Bility is being banned for 10 years. So I'm not here to dispute that. I'm not here to defend. I'm only here to provide information of what I know about it, what I've been reading. So I will ask all of you to also go and read these things. Not only are they good reading, but they are interesting. And they give you an insight of an organization that tend to run the football. We watch football every Saturday, Sunday. Sunday you turn on Premier League, and you're rooting for Manchester, you're rooting for Arsenal, you're rooting for Chelsea. But these are the people that control that. This man used to be the head of European Union, European Football Association. And when he was there, when Sepp Blatter tried to, according to the article, tried to do the same thing he's doing now to Europe, he said, you're not coming here. We run our own European Football Association. You would not tell us what to do. But here he is telling African what to do. And African allows. They know the guy history. They know when he was head of the European Football Association, how he resisted FIFA, vehemently resisted FIFA involvement into European Football Association. But now he's president. He's telling African what to do, and the African are jumping. They say jump out, then they say how high. Then when people like Musa Bility, they say no, man, people, you will not do that. Yes, a same man. The same man used to run European Union, and he refused, resisted FIFA involvement on a Sepp Blatter. Now he's doing the same thing to us, and he doesn't want anybody to say anything. So I just thought that I give you guys these things. If for some reason, if you feel, I'm not saying don't criticize. I'm not saying don't be concerned, because I am concerned myself to have somebody who is party or opposition political party chairman, opposition political party chairman, to have an issue where people say you're banned for 10 years because of corrupt behavior. Let us look into it a little bit better than that, instead of just accepting what people give us. What better than that, Liberians? What better than that? And we should prove to these people that we don't expect them to tell our story anymore. And the reason why I'm bringing this up all the time, because during the war, were Liberians telling their own story? No. No. I was glued to the internet. Pictures coming from Liberia daily. In the morning by 9 o'clock, I'm on that, watching the pictures. And the pictures used to come in almost every hour. People were telling our stories. But now, Liberians will tell their own story. I'll give you an example. If you go on Facebook right now, Liberians alive from Liberia, they're telling the Liberian story. We don't have to wait for BBC to come and tell us what's happening in Liberia. And this is what I'm talking about. So if these people think they can just push people around, especially, I'm not going to talk for the entire continent of Africa, because I don't know much about the entire continent. I know much about Liberia, so I'm going to speak about that. So if these people think that they're just going to get them and push people around, they got another thing coming. The Liberia of yesterday is not Liberia today. You have some serious, sophisticated young Liberians. Young Liberians. And if you try anything, they will challenge you. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to leave it as that. But I'm going to open the line. And if anybody have a question or comment, you want to give me a call, please do so. Let me put a number up here. I'm going to take this thing up now. So give me a call. Let me put a number down. Okay, this is just sad. It's just sad to see people try to manipulate the system in their own favor like that. This is not. That's not how you want to live. And look at the African Football Association. Can you imagine? Let's just take those of you that grew up young, like I was, 9, 10 years or whatever, in the late 70s or whatever. Okay, but in the mid 70s, I mean, the folks that used to play football, like Mama Musa, Agre, Abadna, some of the greatest football players, okay? I'm not even going back to Marky Brown. I'm not going back to David Mobo and all the kind of, I mean, the mid 70s, okay? Waka Heron, okay? Yoka, you Kofi Bruce. How can I forget Kofi Bruce? Okay? Tieto, okay? All of those guys that used to play, i.e. Barrow, Santo Maria, okay, Paul Brewer, Solomon Sipley, all of those guys that used to play. If those guys have the opportunity to go to Europe, they would have dominated in European soccer easily. European soccer was dominated by, how do you call him, the Frenchman, Platini. You bring Platini to Liberia, Kofi Brew, forget Kofi Brew. You bring Platini to Liberia, Mama Musa will have given you Okre 4 or 5 times. The kind of serious ball that was being played in Liberia and West Africa, where you have Petit Sori, you have Papa Kamara. Then when you go to ASEC in Africa, then you go to Ghana Black Star. The kind of serious soccer these people were playing those days. If they have the opportunity to go to Europe, the Europeans were not even going to smell the day. They were going to dominate the soccer business in Europe. Because these young people, they were serious. They're playing football. Look, just think about it. Agre, he gets the ball. Boom, stand on it and view, like they call him the general. Why do you think they call him the general? He stands on the ball and view the entire field. But don't rush him. You rush him, he will dribble you. Forget about Mama Musa. Mama Musa rather dribble 4 or 5 people falling behind him. And not only dribble, these people, they can place the ball in the corner of any goal post anytime. But these are the Europeans now, they're telling us. These are the Europeans now that are telling us they want to run African football. These are the same people who won't even come to Africa to recruit until the late 70s. And in Liberia, the first person I know that went to France to play was Santo Maria. Santo Maria. Very good in the air. Very good in the air. I have Mom. One of these days I'm going to bring Mama Musa on my show. So we'll talk football. I asked Mama Musa one time on my show. Because we always had the impression and believe that Santo Maria would jump in the air, stay in the air, and still jump again. But Musa said, no, it's impossible. People can't jump in the air and jump again. It's just that he had the air time just too long. That's why people view it that and he was very strong too. But those, I'm just saying these are people that play football that will bring joy to you. But what did the Europeans do? Did you see them coming to Africa to recruit those days? No. Because they knew very well that they were to come to Africa to recruit. The African footballer were going to dominate them. Look what happened in the 80s and 90s, specifically 90s, when JJ then started going to Europe. The Nigerians started dominating the entire England football league. And then they can't have, I think they have a rule where they only allow, only a few foreigners can play in their league. But when they come to Africa, you have these people here coming and they try to dominate us. So anyhow, let me put a number up. That's my number. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Teacher Gray. Teacher Gray. So Pat George is here tonight, so I'm glad. Hopefully. Okay, let me put a number up, folks. Give me a call here. Samson to LeBron. We're getting rid of LeBron football. But this is just something that is very sad because many people understand they can do this thing to us. They can put any people out there, and many of us will not try to challenge. Many of us will not try to how do you call it, to debunk whatever. I'm going to throw a little politics into this one. Many of us act like sedition. I mean, the European act like sedition. Oh, yeah, they prove me wrong, huh? I say the man that corrupt person. You tell me if he's not corrupt instead of you do. You who's saying it to prove it, CDC, let to do it. They throw it out there and say, yeah, then with your proof I was wrong. The same thing the European doing on a very serious note. If these people come out and say these kinds of stuff, let's take our time. Musa Birite is not sedition, but he's a Liberian. He's a Liberian. Well, if we allow these people to do this thing to him, they can do it to any other Liberian in the future. Is that one we're going to rally around? Is that one instead of calling CPP Corrupt People Party? Corrupt People Party because you have Bernie Samikai who and there's and most of the people that make these kind of statements, many Liberians that make they are educated, highly educated, but intellectually dishonest. Why would you say that you know the issue with Bernie Samikai, but then you're going to say it because he's part of the CPP Corrupt People Party? But anyway, give me a call, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. And if you can, then because I'm not going to be here that long, I only have about 5-10 more minutes to get out of here. So I'm going to, okay, in fact, let me just, Pat George, please give me a call and close this thing for me. Let me make sure, Pat George, hold on, let me make sure that this is. In the very first time when I came across these articles, I said, no, it's not possible for us Liberians to just sit down like this, for these people to write these things, and we believe in it. We believe in it. Yeah, Pat George, give me a call. Samson told Liberian Public. We believe that Musa ability is in fight. Many of us, including myself, Musa ability need to, I used to be on the air, Musa ability need to clear his name. Okay? Musa ability need to clear his name. Because we believe with these kinds of story. Until I started reading. I'm like, wait a minute. We can't continue like that. If people say something, before we jump into it and it become like a political football, let's try to do something. Pat George, good evening. Samson Toh, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Please close it for us.
Yes, thank you. And let me say thank you to you for the research. That was Liberian Public Radio is one of the best. Let me say this. I'm printing part of the article. I have not read it totally. I just can't go over it. But the former chairman is corrupt. There's no question about it. In fact, the organization has been a corrupt institution, FIFA. If you follow FIFA, it has always been a corrupt institution. Now, having said that, what some of us are saying, or what I'm continuing to say, in every institution, it is just a normal protocol procedure. Most of all the articles that what you've been reading, it is true that the system corrupt, and for some reason they went against Musa or Mr. Bility. From that article, you can see that there was some rivalry going on. But when they made an accusation against Musa Bility, they have been trying to suppress this information. So, and Musa Bility at the time was not a political figure, so nobody was saying anything about it. And that's just a reality. You lay certain lifestyle, nobody will come after it. But when you get to another stage, people will come after you, especially in politics. And this is what happened. And all what I'm seeing is that because of the circumstance of Rani Bino, when the story came up, and this is the problem I have with Liberians. We are that my one can fight my bottle. You see, Mr. Talk, when something happens in the Western world, you got people that will go on your behalf to speak on the issue. Now, today, what you did, Musa Bility better pay you. He better pay you. Because you have done more research and doing more PR work for him than himself or the institution that he owns. That's just the reality. All I have been saying, because we don't have, these does not in your possession, even if they were in your possession, it's still incumbent upon Musa Bility to clear his name. Because he was accused by these people. The character had been defamed, assassinated by the institution. So he now supposed to go after these people to set the record straight. And all I have been saying is that, hey, Musa, because you be in the position now, and this will be so like they're on an institution. I mean, that's the reality. Because those who don't like you will use the story all the time against you. And that's just human nature. It's politics. And that's what someone say, hey, this is the story, Musa, then step aside and make sure you clear your name. If you can't do it, it will continue to drag on. Because FIFA, they have not retracted the statement to say, oh, I didn't know me against the man was for. No. They said they stand by that statement. So you can see where small coming from. It's just a reality. And I think in your intro you said something. And that one I repeated, the political institution should have come out. That's why you pay money for. So decode information, facts. So when somebody accuses one of your officials, you can come out and say, hey, these are facts, these are documents. No, if Musa Bility going on all the talk show, then sometimes try to be a little bit arrogant to insult other people. And this thing, you cannot have thin skin. It's politics. Okay. You compose yourself and address the issue as it unfolds. You have always said that you are innocent. Fine. Or you have to continue to say, hey, look, I'm innocent and I'm pursuing this case to the letter. That's how you do it. But you can't go and try to press on what we call race card, that I'm a travel card, that because I'm a Mandingo man. No. You are not Mandingo man when they took you as vice president to run as Monskin. Nobody told you that you were a Mandingo man and you could not run. They didn't tell you that at the time. So why did they want to use it? It's just wrong. And you just someone just gotta call it as it is. It's just wrong for him to say so many words that he's using. Yeah? Because you've been in the institution all that time, you have contested for a higher up position. Nobody said you were because from the exit that you cannot do it. So because they accuse you that you took money from some institution, and now you come back to throw at people that because your exit connection also has a role to play. It has nothing to play in this thing here. The issue here is we should address it as it happens. And Musa Bility You are an obligation now to clear a need to the Liberian people. That's your responsibility. And nobody, I can't do it for you. If you don't do it, people will still question the integrity of the institution. It's politics, that's the reality. Mr. Todd did well, provided a link. Someone are going there now to see it. But with this corrupt man, and he has no plan to suspend anybody because he's not being investigated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in a good court of competent jurisdiction, they will say nobody can believe in him. Okay, because of his past record and what he's being accused of, then he will have serious power in court for deposition that he's credible to do this kind of work. But I just want to say to Mr. Ability, he needs to do more work to clarify his name and to move on and not trying to be a little bit maybe arrogant to people to say that because of this. No. This is the country. You are a head and big institution now. Tomorrow they go get power. Is that what you're going to be doing? No. So if you are accused, take your head on and prove your innocence. And last, let me just close on the note. I have a question. Why African Assistance to allow white people to run an African institution? Why? These are insults to us. You take on white men to come run FIFA. I mean, what is that? I don't care what you do. It's just wrong. You taking on white men to come run FIFA, and he wants to run it like a private business. What the continent is about? Are you saying there's no competent football or people in Africa that can run an effective organization? But these are the same things we continue to speak about. We have to wake up. Okay? The wake up now and I ain't black men to go run the European Football Association. No. They're not taking for Africa to go run an institution. So why they handpicking someone from Europe to come run an African institution? I mean, you just create room for people to rob the people, the players, and the continent out of funding. It's just wrong. And then I think it's not like the football association of Africa should stand and start looking at some of these things here. Yeah. What is what bring to the table? That you want to give this kind of organization that involve a whole lot of money that's supposed to benefit the continent, but you think and give it to a white man to run. I mean, one thing that we're done with the kind of slavery idea that the white man can do things better. I think we are graduated from that stage. Now look at what they did with Musa Berete. And people in the institution could not stand for Musa Berete, could not, even his own black people could not stand to defend him. That's the saddest thing about it. Because other than get brown envelope, they see the white man skin, they're afraid of him. And the brotherhood is trying to stand up to speak on their behalf, now they start him in the back. These are the things that we should get. We should graduate from this kind of stage. We should learn how to stand up for ourselves. I don't want to leave on that note. Mr. Tool. Musa, I can nothing against Musa. But if we are pushing for transparency and accountability, then we got to hold everybody responsible. We cannot treat other people on a civil platform and treat the other people like, no, we have to hold everybody accountable. And that is the new Nigeria we are trying to build. Regardless of the person association, when it is wrong, you call it. When it's right, you call it. And so let me just leave it on that. But I didn't hear you didn't call my player in Sakba Maya, the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah, the Rock of Gibraltar. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sakba Maya. That's right.
Sakba Maya.
What I'm going to do, I will try to bring Musa, Mama Musa on again to see if he can help us because everyone is getting.
Yeah, bring Mama because he's supposed more type of player. He need to come out so we can play some Liberian football during those days when we're going out in Morocco.
I had him on here. and I asked him about this guy they call Kildare, the guy who used to kick and rest, opening his legs. So his name is Davis. I didn't even know his name was Davis until Mom was on my show, and he said, "Yeah, that's David." He said, "But one thing David would do, David is he's not fast, and he's lazy, and I can dribble him. So all that kick and rest, he's not scaring anybody, you know."
Oh no. This guy, you had the other guy. You had the other guy from St. Joseph, Idi Amin. They used to call him Idi Amin. Wilmot Godfrey. You were from St. Joseph.
Yeah, Godfrey.
Idi Amin, yeah. Wilmot Godfrey was from St. Joseph. They had Wilmot Godfrey and Idi Amin, and they were from St. Joseph.
Yeah,
man, those days football.
And Peno,
wow.
And Peno too. Peno.
Yeah, Water Peno. Yeah, they let Water Peno. He played for Barrow.
No, St. Joseph. St. Joseph. Water Peno was always St. Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph. Yeah, Water Peno. They were the St. Joseph people. Wow.
Yeah, but you know, so I will try to engage Mo Musa again to see if he can come on our show and give us some more insight of Liberian football, because he's very good at that. He's like the Liberian.
Yeah, Mark. Then this guy, you remember this guy? Murray George to play for Ajax. Murray George to play number 4.
Yeah.
Murray George.
Yeah, Murray
George,
yeah.
Then we have
we call him pretty boy. He let people to take that Morris George. He let people. He used to be in Rhode Island. I don't know where he is now. He used to be in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Then you have Kadaya Kuma. He play for IE also.
Yeah. But
wow.
IE player then the office, man. The office.
No.
The best.
Look at this area. What? Did you agree? Man.
IE player as office.
Oh Lord, you want to score it?
Samuel Toe.
SC.
Oh my
SC,
goodness.
Samuel Toe.
Then you have
it's about fucking the place. Yeah.
Oh, they say. What's his name? Is in New Jersey. George. Morris George. No, what's his name again?
Yeah, Morris George.
Yeah, Morris George. They say he's in. Yeah,
wow.
Somebody getting ready to dig. Somebody getting ready to dig with me now. He say he getting ready to spoil his show. My man, all IE players that's so fishy. They're all my friends, but they're all fishy. Barrow is the best. Well, let me count the people now. How you gonna take Mama Musa over Waka Heron? You can't do that. How you gonna take?
Mama Musa are playing a different. Waka Heron are playing 7 for Barrow. Okay.
Yeah. Mama Musa. I just mentioned it. I'm not going from number to number. How you take Mama Musa over Waka Heron and not happening? How you take Kofi Bruce? Oh, how you take Kofi Bruce over what's his name? The guy Abanda and not having Abanda. Then they can't even.
What about Frank Jericho? Language.
Yeah, Frank Jericho, that little boy man at begin. How you put fucking who is the Iron Gate for Barrow? How you say Frank Jericho? I beg you, man.
Okay, you so hold that number 2.
Yeah. Those are the people, my man. Those are the people that Barrow. That Barrow always been the best team. So rich people team. We care for that kind of team, man.
My man, come on. Why? Then we have Johnny Grant. Johnny Grant to be the number 2 for IE.
Yeah. Don't mind that PHP boy there. They say they all up there. They're not there. Barrow. Look at Black Jesus. With the man with the iron left foot. Black Jesus. Are you gonna say something like that? Hey man. Just
wow.
Barrow.
Look at it, man. Yeah. Poor bro. Look at that, poor bro.
Poor bro, he just brute force. That one when Solomon simply ready for him, he can't stand because Solomon simply he just put a ball in the air. Man, he can't do much. Yeah, that's it.
Damn it. Those days were football. They were playing. The people play with commitment because there was no money.
On a very serious note, Pat Josh. You know those children, they really, really save two-way party in Liberia for a very long time. Because it had not been for football, two-way party would have been out of government long time. But every time when the young people start agitating and things like that, before you learn to play football, and any time you put football game down, Barrow and IE, everything Monreal sees. Whether they get food or they get food, nobody making noise. That's it.
Look at the USA. For USA.
I know.
When you got coming down from the state to Liberia, it's like a holiday in the whole country.
That's it. And that's you know, going back to politics again. Dr. Weah used to come to Liberia during the height of the war. And when he comes, everything stopped. You know how many people children he saved? Yeah, man. But anyhow, thank you. I will bring Moa Musa up here sometime. I will contact him this week and see if he and I can engage again. Let me bring him. I'll let him give us some more.
I will go back. I will go back to do some research for some players from IE. Wow.
Yeah. IE player. Oh my goodness. You know what IE used to do? You know what IE used to do? They used to borrow from Electron, from EWF player then. They bring their own ball.
Electron, Electron,
They bring their own ball. I beg you, man.
Wow.
Then they pay all the referee then to cheat Barrow. Most of the time.
Nathan. What do you call Mike Domo? What the guy name? Mike something.
Mike Gibson?
Oh man. No, there's one of the rest who are in the army also.
Fred Bladen. That Fred Bladen, he can't on the football field, he in the army.
And the guy was strong, amazing goal. Because amazing goal was SS guy, and your character guy, amazing goal was strong. He used to be rough. And those days, the late Google man. Wow.
Yeah, it's a good man.
Yeah, the late Google man. Damn it.
Josh, let me get out of here. Thank you for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And folks, this is what we do here on LeBron Public. You see how we jump from disability to LeBron football, and we can stay here all night. But I will do my best to bring Mama Musa on. Benedict Wizard, as he's known.
Benedict Wizard.
See if he can talk to us. But one of the smartest teams Benedict Wizard did in the whole thing here, when he came to the United States, he was not like some of us playing ball, going here and there. He used to play ball, college ball, but at the same time, he was going to school. I think he has a master's degree or something like that. He's very smart.
Benedict, Mama Musa was very quiet. One of those players was very quiet in Morocco.
They stole him from us. Now, when I tell you now, it's the truth. That's not true. Nobody stole me. No, from me. But that they knew we got him Maria. They stole Mama Musa from us. They stole him. You were with Labaro and then but he told me the story what happened.
Yeah. Coach J&J. Just that Johnny said the play one people. This is a break there.
Josh, thank you very much, man. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. We want to thank all of you again. Before we close tonight, let me just say this here. Please, if these kinds of stuff are specifically disability issue, let's try and look into it a little bit. Let's open our eyes, open your mind. Don't just say because people say that, say open your mind. Even if it's newspaper, written article, whatever it is, open your mind and see if you can go a little bit deeper. You'll find things are not the way you think they are. Okay? So once again, I don't know Musa ability. He doesn't even know me. But these are things that I have to do my own research and find out where these things are. They're out there. I put the stuff up. You can go. They have Facebook page for the thing. In fact, Musa Ability been writing on people's Facebook page 2 weeks ago. He wrote against the same president. In fact, when the president was indicted, this FIFA president was indicted. Musa Belete prophesied. They call it prophesied, and they reminded me about Prophet Key. But he prophesied and said the man will not leave office. You're fooling yourself. The man will not resign. He won't go anywhere. For sure, the man stay there. Anyway, I want to thank all of you again and say thank you very much. You guys have been wonderful, wonderful people throughout the evening. Thank you. And let's do it again. Tomorrow, Mr. So will be up here, and I'll be back Friday. And with that, I say thank you very much. Let's continue to pray for one another. And please, whatever you do, stay safe out there. Samson told LeBron Public. And one last thing, I'm going to work hard to see if I can bring Benedict Wisa / Mama Musa on our show here so he can talk to us about Liberian football. Okay? So, with that said, thank you and good night.
Yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na salite bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekonango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay. All right, folks. Hello, this is Samson Toe, folks. A young lady just called me and said, you can't do that. You call our IE Yellow Boys and you can't leave like that. So let's put her on. Hello, madam. Yes. Good evening. Samson Toe, LeBron Public Radio, please.
Yeah, how you doing? Yes, I said Abba now, Benedict Wisa, Sapa Maya, what's the name? What's the man name? Said Sickle Goldman passed away for a car accident years back in New Jersey. Right. And Maury George, all these people here just found where to go and say and have a reunion. They're here, they're all right. Most of them in Jersey. I think Sapa is in Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think Sapa is in Rhode Island.
Yeah, Benedict Wisa is in New York. And the list go on, they all around.
But the statement I made that I player than that FCC Barrow player, the better team, because I'm Barrow, of course. But what you make of it?
No. Huh? I people get more civilized. That's what it was. We were too good to get dirty, that's all. We were just the center of the town, the yellow boys.
Wow.
Barrow, that red people, we don't do red. Yes, we are.
We don't do red.
Wow. No, red is like kind of like a problem color. Yes, that's how we look at red. Red a fussy color. Yep.
Wow.
Because my stepfather, there used to be the IE people saying, but nah, Maxwell first passed away, and my stepfather passed away, Anthony and Auntie Order. The people used to be like, my mother then was the one, and I used to live right by St. Joseph headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know we know good football, but we don't know if we're going to get like that no more.
Yeah, but they think those days, Barrow were the good team because they were from... No, I'll say Barrow team just better than IE. I mean, because I'm a Barrow man, I've
No,
been Barrow
but-
man ever since.
Okay, but Mr. Toad, this is the thing though. As generation go, as people get older, new breed come, new generation come. You understand? In the great United States, we got USA team, USA Audi team. There's nothing wrong with young IE player and young Barrow, St. Joseph, all the different teams we form. Like I said, I always tell people again. Some people just think we against you. We are. To me, I feel like that was his strength should have been. LeBron got good soccer players. Even the young people coming up, they so much admire him because of soccer. That was some of the reasons why most of them voted for him. And then everything just stands still, nothing going on. I mean, they play the country league, that's the most. But you want how many players in a come abroad that play United States football go all over the more better than the children are back there? I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
But let me ask you,
I don't know.
those days when you used to watch football, which were some of the players that you used to watch?
Well, I was much younger, but most of them, I was IE person because our whole house was IE. My stepfather, they were IE people, so we had to be IE. So that they the one were watching because my mom always had them coming over to entertain them. Were younger, so IE was the team. There's no other team. But then St. Joseph was not far from where we live. St. Joseph headquarters were in Newtown, so.
Right.
And also, but our main team was.
People in New Town, the other St. Joseph or the IE,
or
so there's
IE.
no question.
There you go. So that's it. So that's why our team was. Barrow was out of the question for me. Barrow, they consider Barrow by some people. So that's how they used to look up Barrow. That's how they used to think. So, yeah. So I mean that's something.
But many of the crew ethnic players were also playing for IE.
Yeah. But most of them, Abona, then Sakpamaya, then Murray George, then Benedict, we said most of all of them grew.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
True.
All of them grew. So that's what they used to do. But it used to be nice. And I wish we can bring those kind of days back to the country. The country is too dark. It's too dark.
So what I'm because I'm a friend with Mama Musa, so I'm gonna ask him again to see if I can bring him on live, like on a Friday afternoon, and just have and just reminisce about old days about football in Liberia, and see how much because he's very knowledgeable with the history of the game too. Anyway, so he can help us.
But most of the players, if you put something out there, I'm sure will come on live with y'all if y'all can do like a Zoom thing because Murray George and myself not far from one another. Now, and then we say it's in New York. All of them right here. I'm sure they wouldn't mind to reminisce.
Yeah, that's true.
It's something good for our country, man. Sometimes it's just good to reflect.
I know. It's not everyday politics here and there. We need to bring back some of the good old days.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Because reflection is what we can hold on to. Because if we don't hold on to the reflection, we'll be hurt ourselves. People on social media cussing one another. Activists say the activists, but they cussing one another. Women degrading one another. So reflection is the best way sometimes to get your mind off certain things.
Thank you.
And I know that, like, brother, I grew up in, but I don't know. Some people, I understand some of the people that go in the way they go. Maybe some children started during the war. They didn't seek certain things. But some of us know the Liberia we grew up in, so that the memory will hold on to until one day.
Right. Well,
that's what I would say. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I can be a PR person. Just put me on payroll. I can be a PR person and find all your players.
But I still say though. I don't know whether you agree or not. But I still say I eat a FCC team. I eat a FCC team.
Not really.
That what they wear the yellow jersey.
All the players when you call today that IE players. So if I so see why you got a name just say about. You see? So think about it. Think about it. Think about it. There's no more. And I will let them know you are talking about them. They can reach out to the show one day. I will let them know maybe tomorrow the weekend we'll see some of them.
Right. No, I'm going to do so because I think we need to do that again once again. But thank you very much, man. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Toh. All right. Okay. And I waited one day for you to take me to Totan. The Totan you always talk about, I would like to see Totan. I want to see what Tota.
Okay. All right, one of these days we'll show Tota. I have the video of Tota. I'm going to play it again someday. But one day we'll do that. We'll do that. But thank you very much. We appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. All right, then. Good night.
Good night, man. Folks, this is where you don't come on the platform and run your mouth. When I said I eat a FCT, I close my team. She called me. Say, how you will say I eat FCT, then you just talk about player, then you just close your thing, you think that's not right thing? So I was forced to bring her back on. So she can drag me and say, no, that 18 talking for yourself. But folks, I don't mean to go back to the story again. But I.E. Barrow, those were the days when Liberia. But anyway, let's forget it. I say thank you very much, and we will do what we can to engage Mao Musa to see if he can come and give us some football history. And if we can even drag some of the old players on here, we'll try to do so. Okay? And then let's just reminisce about old days and stuff like that. I don't know what up West Brown, Unati, where he is. I don't even know Santa Maria that is. So we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I want to thank all of you again for joining us. Good night, folks.
Yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na salite bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali